Hi guys, I'm Tamara Chambers and this is episode 4 of Tamara's Never Seen. And tonight I am going to watch The Goonies. People have been commenting, like asking, are you serious? This is a lie. She's definitely seen this. Because I'm watching movies that everyone has seen before. And first of all, that's the point of the show, is I've not seen anything. I grew up with like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and like animated Disney movies. I wasn't introduced into these really cool but weirder genres. I was also born in 1991, and so I missed all the 80s. Like by the time I was old enough to like comprehend movies, like different things were coming out. And I know like a lot of the viewers are like younger and they still have seen these things. I don't know, guys, I don't know. I just didn't see them, all right? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So here we go.
Tamara's Never Seen.
You guys, that was so much fun. Okay, I have to say, I wasn't imagining that I would love that as much as I did, or that I was even going to like enjoy it. It's like the most 80s movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Yes, yep. The Goonies is the most 80s movie I've ever seen. It opens with this really awesome like jail escape, and then there's a police chase, and then there's an awesome introduction to each of the children. And he's looking out of his window and he's like, oh, nothing exciting ever happens here. But it's gonna. So something I noticed right off the bat is there's a lot of advertising, and I think that's just an 80s thing. Like I think it wasn't off-putting for them to have like, in the first scene there was like Pepsi, and there was like a Mad magazine, and there's like a Purple Rain shirt, and like, not the Purple Rain's advertising, but you know what I mean, like blatant like brands, and now it just doesn't happen that way. So then you see Chunks, who is the token fat guy, who I feel bad for being, you know, the token fat guy. Got stuck on my lip gloss. Soda. See that? I did 2 jokes in one. I did an advertising joke and a fat joke. Those are hair flips, if you didn't know. Anyways, I was really distracted by their elaborate like mousetrap, awesome, super cool way to get into their gate at the front door. Chunks is like, let me in, and then like they drop, I don't know, I think it was like a bowling ball, and then it goes like down some levers and then like into a chicken coop, and the chicken lays an egg, and that like offsets something, and like the gate opens. And by the way, it's like a 2-foot gate, so like he definitely could have hopped the gate. But he's like, no, gotta let me in the special way, which I understand. Then their other friend like zip lines across over what it seems like electrical wires. It's probably not, maybe it is. It's the 80s, who knows? So he zip lines in through the window, crashes through like their screen door. The mom comes in and she's just like, well, I see he's arrived, and like knows exactly what's up, cause she's a cool mom. She's not one of those lame moms who doesn't let people break her screen door every time they come over. She's a cool mom. So then you see the kid whose nickname is Mouth, and he can speak perfect Spanish. Like there is no way he's learning this in middle school Spanish. Like I took 3 years of Spanish in high school, and all I can say is donde está el baño. So then the mom leaves with the housekeeper, and they all decide to explore the attic for the first time ever. And there's like a ton of really cool shit up there. They find this map and they're like, well, I guess we should find this treasure now. And it all happens very fast and is a little rushed, but also I imagine watching this as a kid and just being blown the actual fuck away, like wanting something like that so badly. So then you find out that the house is in foreclosure, and that's why they're moving. Oh yeah, that's why they went to the attic, to pack things up, I'm pretty sure. It makes sense in my mind, so I think that's what happened. But anyways, the house is in foreclosure, and they decide that if they find this treasure, then they can save their home. And all of a sudden the story makes sense, and it's full, and there's things happening. I really enjoy the childlike optimism of like, oh, there's a treasure map, and I'm sure people have been looking for this for like decades, but we're gonna go find it right now on our bikes, and it's gonna be in our neighborhood. And they do, obviously. Spoilers, I guess. You've all seen this. But they absolutely find the treasure, and I think that's hilarious. Like, oh, people have been searching for this for decades, and a bunch of little boys like go and search for maybe 2 hours, and they find the treasure. Fuck yeah, America! I don't know why that's America, but it just is. It's so 80s. So they're following the map, and where the treasure should be is this lighthouse cafe place, and the bad guys from the beginning who escaped from jail are in there. Then they find this insane monster chained up in the bottom of the basement, and you find out it's Sloth, and he's the brother of the bad guys. But it's really horrifying and really fucked up. Like, and so random. Like, why are you there? Why? What? What? Huh? Okay. Something a little inconsistent with the character of Mikey, who's like the main boy, is like sometimes he's really like nerdy, and they were up in his basement, or up in his basement, Tamara. They were up in his attic, and he was like, "You guys don't touch anything. No, my mom said we can't do that," and blah, 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 blah. And then he's like down in the basement finding Sloth, and everyone's scared. He's like, "You guys, it's fine, calm down, it's totally cool. It's just a giant man monster who's chained up in the basement of this bad guy lair. Chill out." So they hear the bad guys coming down into the basement. They don't want to get caught, and so they leave. They find this place underneath the fireplace, and they all go, and they leave Chubbs in the freezer with the dead guy for the bad guys to find. That's not kind. That's not kind. So while the bad guys are capturing Chubbs, everyone else, the entire rest of the party, who 2 girls have now added to the party, they're like, "Oh, we like, you're the big brother, so we're gonna come," or one of them does, not both of them. This isn't like a sister wives thing. Is that too weird of a reference? I don't know. I don't know what's cool anymore, guys. And they end up in the bottom of a wishing well. And then this amazing scene happens where the jock guy of the school, who you only see one other time, like throws a coin in the wishing well, and like, he's hanging out at the top of the wishing well with his friend, because that's a cool place to hang out. It's where the popular people hang out, is the wishing well. His other jerk friend is like, "What'd you wish for, man?" He's like, "I want to have sex with Andy," and she's like the love interest of everyone. And they like high five, like, "Oh yeah, man, wow, sex and wishes, awesome." So they're all down there trying to get out, and Dada like catches the coin that he throws down and throws it back up at him to get his attention, and he catches it, and he looks down and sees them all, and he looks up at his friend, he's like, "Wishes do come true." They like high five, explosions happen. It's no explosion. And it's like, what are you celebrating? You did not just, you don't know what sex is. Oh, okay. Like, high school is definitely gonna be his best years of his whole life. And then they all decide they want to stay in the well and keep searching for the treasure. The bad guys find the under basement, and they find the kids, and there's this chase scene that's pretty cool. And all of the kids find this like entrance to the supposed treasure. And it's this really cool like grand organ made out of bones, and they have to play a song to get through to the next part. And they find music notes on the back of the map, which I thought was really cool. And they make it through, and they all go down this amazing water slide, and there's this giant fucking pirate ship, and they go in the pirate ship, and there's fucking treasure galore, and it's so exciting. I can't, watching this as a kid must have been the coolest thing. I would have pretended to be these boys every day of my life with my little brother, but the bad guys catch up with them again and like force them out of the ship and like make them walk the plank. Then they trip some booby traps, and it's very frightening. Giant CGI rocks fall from the sky, so it's pretty suspenseful. This is really sweet. Sloth helps them escape, and in doing so traps himself inside the cave. And the kids are out and they're on the beach, and they find their parents, and they're all reunited, and it's a really cool ending. One thing that's kind of a weird complaint, but that I noticed happen a lot, is that there was no coordination between the kids yelling. Like if there was an excited scene and everyone's trying to get attention, like everyone just yells and you can't hear what any of them are saying. And like now if there's like kids in a scene or anyone in a scene, it's like a yelling scene, like you kind of choreograph who's gonna yell what and when and where. And so that was just like a little chaotic, and it happened a lot. And so that was a weird thing that bothered me. It's not a big deal. But other than that, I was like pleasantly surprised. A lot of people were like, "You've got to watch this," but also it probably doesn't hold up well. It's something that we grew up with, and it's got a lot of hype behind it, but it probably didn't age well. And I had a really fun time with it. I recently watched another older movie that has a lot of hype that people say does hold up well, and I didn't think it did. I'll release that video later. I'm scared too. So yeah, it was really fun. I thought it held up better than I was ever expecting. And I have finally seen the Goonies. Finally. Also, Ike has been sleeping next to me this entire episode. I'm actually a little frightened that his snoring is going to pick up in the microphone because he snores really loud. Everyone's gonna be so mad that I'm waking you up, but I'm still going to. Bye. This has been Tamara's Never Seen. Bye.